Hey, Steve, do you have a problem with the Sports Betting Hall of Fame?
Yes, I do. Sports Betting Hall of Fame, it's out of control. Somehow, some way, 70% of the people in these Sports Betting Hall of Fames are like administrators and sportsbook managers. All they do is bar and kick out people smarter than them that are kicking their butts. It's ridiculous.
This is Sharp Money with Patrick Meagher on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Steve Fezzik, professional bettor, pregame.com, at Fezzik Sports on Twitter. The notes are coming in hot and heavy today. So are the emails. Sharpmoney at VSiN.com. We've got a ton today to pepper one Fez with throughout the hour. Dustin Swedelson, Steve Fezzik at the D, downtown Las Vegas. But this is where we start the program, okay? And this is where we start the hour. I know a lot about Steve Fezzik. He is a great family man. He is a great chess player. He's a great bettor. I don't think of him much as a drinker. Okay, now he'll have a couple of beers with you and tell some great stories. But on a Monday at noon, to get this text message from Fezzik was shocking. Let's talk about why I'm slightly buzzed with 2 old fashions consumed already. That's where we start the segment. Mr. Fezzik, what's up?
So I was at Fontainebleau today. I got my Fontainebleau Royal card, so I get to valet park for free. Yay. Previous episodes told you how to get like VIP cards. Go back in the archives. And my man Lewis at the sports book, I was talking to him. I had some drink tickets, so it was good to go. And he's like, we're unlike other properties, even though we're a high-end property. He's like, the bar by the sports book. He says, you put $50 into the video poker machine, you play a little bit, or if you have your drink tickets from the sports book, we don't just give you like the house or the well drink. You want an old-fashioned? You want Woodford? I'll make it for you, man. Up to $25. So I'm like, well, damn. Got to do this. And so 1 pineapple martini, 1 Woodford. He said, what kind of vodka you want in that martini? I'm like, he surprised me. So Lewis took care of me, and that's a good place to to drink your lunch in Vegas.
You're laughing. He's not buzzed, but you can hear a little bit of it in there, big guy. So it is hilarious.
Oh, it's beautiful.
So Bill D is like listening, no doubt. He's like, I get Fezzik some water, some coffee, ASAP.
No, get him another old. What do you call it?
Old fashioned.
A couple of old fashions.
You know what? The best of the old fashioned, Patrick. Do you drink old fashions?
Yeah, they're great.
The ice cube. You either get the really big spherical ice cube or the really big, square ice cube. Why an ice cube can make a drink that much better, I don't know. I'm not a expert at that. Dustin, any thoughts?
Well, it's the way they melt. It's the way they melt, and adding the water to the whiskey, making it a little bit smoother. And I believe the circular-shaped round ice melts slower than the squared ice.
Ooh. On a related note, I did go to the Sphere, and it was spectacular.
Never afraid to give an opinion. This could be an interesting 45 minutes because we got a loose-lipped Fezzik. Now, does that mean you missed out on your afternoon workout?
Oh.
Uh-oh. Well, I did go to the gym with my son yesterday morning, and I kind of did everything with them. So, to be fair, it's cardiovascular day. So, I'm looking to get my 10,000 steps in, 1 bar at a time.
You could be like me. You drink enough, your heart rate will go up so it feels like a workout.
Or just bar crawl from, in Newport Beach, Patrick, we used to do like the bar crawl. So we'd go to Tail of the Whale and all those places like, right in Newport. That was a lot of fun.
So I want to roll through your notes because then we'll get to the emails. A ton of great questions coming in for Fez. But let's get in the mind of Steve Fezzik. You've got a list here. We'll start with room attendants. You've got beef with room attendants?
I got beef with the stiffies that go to Vegas and they don't tip the room attendants, their maids, all right? So, look at me, I'm a big man. I can go to Poppy Steak and tip $250 for my bill. And they're like, but I'll just check out and not even leave something for the person that's cleaning up your you-know-what in your bathroom. You know what? Stop tipping $10 to the floorman, and how about taking that $10 to the hardworking people that are busting their you-know-whats to clean your room and give them a 10 or a 20 instead?
That's tremendous. The number one gambling leak almost every gambler has. So what is the one gambling leak you'd like to let everybody know they have?
Everyone thinks, when you query people, how good a driver, Dustin, how good a driver are you?
Mediocre at best.
Way to ruin my
I'm a great driver. This is where he wanted it to go. I'm the best driver on the planet.
I can't lie.
To be fair, everyone thinks they're a way above average driver versus the average driver, and this is actually true. And the reason being is that when they observe others driving, they're in the car with the person, and everyone drives better alone in a car than when there's multiple people in the car and they're distracted, especially if they're driving with 3 strippers. Okay, so there is certainly that.
Were we doing this earlier today, before or after the drinks?
Let me know when Lisa Ann is in town and we can make it happen. But when it comes to gambling, everyone thinks that they are here, and they're really here. So the people that are terrible at gambling think they're average. The people who are average at gambling think they're good. And the people who are good at gambling think they're exceptional. Patrick, sixth sense. I see bad gamblers, and they don't even know they're bad. Where am I going here? How many times when I'm playing blackjack, I'll see someone hit a 12 against a 4, and all hell breaks loose. People are like, oh, this is like what a terrible play. It's like a dead optional play, whether you hit or stand on 12 versus 4. I understand. Don't hit me with all the emails and the DMs. I know the chart says stand. It's a too close to call type of thing. Yet somehow someone can stand on 17 against, or stand on 16 against an 8, which is just an egregious error. And crickets, not a word about horrible plays. So stop yelling at me when I stand on my 12. When I hit my 12 against a 4, please. Thank you.
Oh, this is great. We're just getting started. A buzzed Fez is the best Fez. Here's an actual sports note. Getting in front of the likely line move with the Celtics, so it's up to 11.5 for tomorrow night in Game 1.
So I bombed away $80 fine because there's 2 bets. So I bombed the Celtics. You can still get a minus 11 in some places. But I laid 10.5 minus 15, but I think it's fine. You can lay a minus 11. First half, I laid minus 6.5. I don't know if that's still out there anywhere. This is how it's done, folks. Pros, they look at it. It's like, Cavs 7-game series. Celtics, easy peasy, win, 5-game win against Miami. People are going to bet the Celtics, probably right at post. You're going to see the square ball money coming in. Why not get in front of it? If you're going to bet Boston, I'm not saying Boston's the right side. I don't disagree with it being the right side. Don't lay 12. Lay 10.5 or 11 game. Lay 6.5 first half. Get in front of it, and you can figure out what to do with it later on. At the very least, you can always talk to someone who likes Boston. Like, oh, dang, I meant to get down, and now I'm going to lay 12. Well, I tell you what, I'll give you Boston minus 11.5. And you've got Boston minus 10.5, and they're happy because they're getting a better number than close. You see where I'm going. There's a lot that you can do with it. Just, it's the good story. Whenever there's a good story, an obvious line move, we talked about it in the program last week, I believe. And if we didn't, we should have. Bears in the draft. Bears over 8.5, minus 140. DraftKings, Bet Rivers had a better number. Everyone's going to bet the Bears. Look at those wide receivers, Adunze, Keenan Allen, Moore. They got rid of Fields. He's going to be returning kicks. And they got a real quarterback. It's like the good story. So bet the Bears over before it inflates.
Oh, this is so good. By the way, Will Hill watching at home, enjoying the segment as well with our buddy Fez. Hey, Steve, do you have a problem with the Sports Betting Hall of Fame?
Yes, I do. So let me, you know what? I did a little research here. I queried the Blackjack Hall of Fame. You know what the Blackjack Hall of Fame is full of? Blackjack players, professional blackjack players. You know how many, pit bosses and casino hosts and the like are in the Blackjack Hall of Fame, Patrick?
Not many.
0.0. Although I would put Steve Sayre, casino host galore, in there. But Poker Hall of Fame, my friend Nolan Dalla, author of One of a Kind, Stewie Unger biography. Nolan Dalla is phenomenal, and he plays poker seriously, and he kicked my butt with the Queen 9 of Diamonds, which I refer to as the Nolan Dalla to this day. Nolan is not in the Poker Hall of Fame. You know why? Guess who's in the Poker Hall of Fame? poker
Stu
players. But yeah, professional poker players like Stu Unger and et al. Phil Hellmuth and numerous others. You know who's not in the Poker Hall of Fame? A whole bunch of poker administrators, a bunch of poker database guys, a bunch of poker managers. Yet somehow, some way, Sports Betting Hall of Fame, it's out of control. I mean, it's literally, there are 70% of the people in these Sports Betting Hall of Fames are like administrators and sportsbook managers. And here's the ridiculousness. Like if you asked like 20 sports betting top tier, guys better than me, toppest tier, they're like the Horalbus guy that like famously killed the NBA betting first half. Like, who are your top 10, who are your top 20 sports bettors? You know how many like sports betting managers they include? 0.0. Because if you were at the very top of your game, you wouldn't be managing a sports book. You would be betting. And I'm fine with having select people. Hey, Jay Cornegay, yeoman's work. Jay ran the Imperial Palace, little hole in the wall book. There was he had a drive-through sports book where he like a bank, you put money in, you made your bets, out came your bets. He invented all these prop bets. Jay Cornegay belongs in the Sports Betting Hall of Fame. But all these dinosaurs in Vegas that never revolutioned any aspect of this, to have multiple ones of them in the Sports Betting Hall of Fame, and all they do is bar and kick out people smarter than them that are kicking their butts. It's ridiculous. And then guess who gets to decide who's in the Sports Betting Hall of Fame? These administrators, these paper shufflers, decide, let's get more paper shufflers. It's like Gordon Gekko. I've spent my last 17 days analyzing Teledyne paper, and I still can't figure out what these guys do.
Oh my God.
But to be fair, like there's two didn't Sparky just start randomly the Sports Betting Hall of Fame?
Yes.
So it's not even really like a legitimate
Spanky's
thing.
is better.
Okay, we'll come back and discuss it. And your questions for Fezzik next. Going to break, you were talking about the Sports Betting Hall of Fame. There's one on the East Coast, and then I think they started one there at Circa last year. Just to put a bow on that, you have an answer for who should be in the Sports Betting Hall of Fame, Fez.
Yeah, just to clarify, I don't even know what the other one is. There's one Sports Betting Hall of Fame that just has a bunch of administrators, paper pushers, and every sports bettor thinks it's just a joke. Now, Spanky's Hall of Fame is actually quite good, all right? So it's good, all right? It has too many sportsbook managers, administrators in it, but at least it's got like Roxy Roxborough and people that absolutely, Bob Martin and people that everyone respect, Billy Walters. That Sports Betting Hall of Fame. I think the other one didn't even have Billy Walters in it. You know, it's just like, are you really? Really. So Spanky's doing a fine job, with it. But still, even with that, it's like I think Spanky tweeted, we have a 21-person diverse committee, determining who the best teams are. It's like the NCAA committee where we got Condoleezza Rice and all these other experts on. Well, wait, no, Condoleezza Rice, it really isn't a college basketball expert. Maybe we should get Alan Boston in there and some other people that actually, really know these players and know what they're doing. How the heck Alan Boston and I have had our differences. How is Alan Boston not in the Sports Betting Hall of Fame? He had like a book documenting him back in 1999, the odds and the like. If ever there was a dude that should be in the Sports Betting Hall of Fame, put Alan, even though I don't like Alan Boston, it'd be a first ballot Hall of Fame from me, and I don't even like the guy. How is he not in the Sports Betting Hall of Fame?
So do you like Alan Boston, just to make sure we're 100% clear on that?
I do not like Alan Boston. But I'm biased, though, because Alan berated a dealer in a manner that I won't go into, and he made her cry once. So maybe I'm just biased at the Palms. Short sample. That was the same session Nolan Dalla kicked my butt with the Queen 9 of Diamonds. Nolan, I would put you in the Sports Betting Hall of Fame because you should just be in the Gambling Hall of Fame. You should be a first ballot. Nolan Dalla for first ballot Gambling Hall of Fame. And by the way, Patrick, there's a Blackjack ball, and they have this every year. And Max Rubin used to host it, and they'd give a query. They give a quiz to people. They give like a 20-question multiple choice. And guess what? The same guys that are really good, the Stanford Wongs and the Munchkins and the like, would consistently wind up, being in the top 4 in the Blackjack Hall of Fame, the Anthony Curtises and the like, and it was skill-based, not good old boy, fraternity-based, scratch my back, I scratch yours. And I think what would be a great criteria is like I told Jeff Benson this. It's like just query. They've been open enough. There's one book in town. There's only one book that takes sharp action. If you are a sharp and you think you're going to be making big bets against the South Boy, like on the app or anything, good luck with that. But the circus still takes it. So how about this? Just query the people. Who has won the most money? It won't be me. I'm not, especially after I donked off 40K with Purdue against Circa. Whoever's won the most money, shocker, the person who wins the most money playing poker should be in the Poker Hall of Fame, and the person that wins the most money betting sports should probably be asked to be in the Sports Betting Hall of Fame. But you know what, Patrick? They might say no because they'd much rather stay under the radar, like our mutual friend, the Pastrami.
Yep, Mr. Pastrami. We love him. All right, let's take advantage of this. Let's open up the emails, the questions for Steve Fezzik. Dustin, who's up first?
Rick Shields emails in sharpmoney@vsin.com. Hey, guys, love the segment with Fezzik. You're providing awesome information and entertainment. My question for Fezzik is, you're so likable on Sharp Money every week. Why are you such a on Twitter?
Because I'm an agitated gambler, and I get so much crap from people, and I can't help it. I'm like, I react, and and Gil, I love Gilly. So Gil Alexander, he's constantly like, Fez, you got to tone it back, buddy. It's like, that's not how you really are. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. And I'm the first guy to admit, and I belayed that like in this very segment. It's just I get so worked up on stuff that it frustrates me. And I'm sorry. I'm wrong. You guys are right.
And
I'm
so
wrong.
we could, was it like, why is he, an ass on Twitter? Is that fair to say? Is that what he asked?
Female dog.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. Well, there's your answer. He gets agitated and he just lets loose, unfiltered.
Yeah, but like there's people who can't attend class right now because of protests on college. There's certain select people of select groups that can't even get to their classroom because people are like protesting them. And it's like, guy, I'm just trying to go to school. It's like I don't belong to an army. Like, can I please go to class without you guys like screaming at me? It's like I'm like I didn't hurt anybody. So. Yeah.
So essentially what you're saying is, I'm not going to get into that, but like some people go to let off some steam. They may go to one of those break rooms. They could smash things with a sledgehammer. For you get it out on Twitter.
Yes, but you know what? I'm in a good mood today because I was at Field of Dreams over the weekend. This is at Caesar's Palace, and the guys, Gabe and Michael, set me up, and I got my Gordon Gekko, like, big poster. And so greed is good, greed is right, free market is right. And so the Field of Dreams guys have made me feel good about all of humanity. They treated us right. So thank you, guys. I'm in a great mood from that.
Next question, big guy.
All right, Nicholas Reed writes in sharpmoney@vsin.com. Fez, you talk a lot about buying back later after making a bet early in the process, and doing so mitigates the risk. Do you buy back because there's value on the second bet, or can the second bet be a coin flip with the purpose of purely mitigating risk?
Both. Great question. So let's say you know a line's going to move. You just know it. Like, how are you going to know it's going to move, Fez? Well, I'm going to give you an example. The Bears over 8.5 minus 140 at DraftKings. Season wins. Do I like over 8.5 minus 140? I think so. I'm not 100% sure. I got to do more research. Irrelevant. I'm just going to bet it because I'm confident that all of the talking heads are going to align on why they like the Bears. And you know what? Right before the season starts, 5 minutes before kickoff, we can play the Bears under 9, plus 110, or under 8.5, plus 165 on an alternative line, or under 9.5. So why not get in front of it and go ahead and play it? I do this all the time. Right Angle Sports. I have the utmost respect for Right Angle Sports. By the way, they are not in the sports betting Hall of Fame. Even though all these sports book managers that are in the Hall of Fame are running as beyond scared of these guys to the point that they cut their limits, right when they're releasing to like $300. But Right Angle Sports gives out, a Duquesne over 140, and it goes to 143. And I'm a big believer, and it's like, it's always, and Ed disagrees with me. It's like, Fez, you're wrong. And I'm like, no, I'm right. We're going to play under. If the market goes to 143 on a Right Angle Sports release and we can get under 144, heck yeah, I'm going to play under 144 every time. And I got blasted on Twitter. Oh, he's won 56%, and you're crazy, and you're just going to lose your share. He's not winning 56%, I assure you, playing over 144. He's doing that playing over 140, and over the past year, Writing of Sports pretty much chopped on all the results. And so it is rarely wrong when someone in the media that becomes well-known and too big, and it's like the pig trying to swallow the python. When too many people are all betting the same thing, it's like if you look at that the python swallows the pig. Thank you. There's going to be a big, fat, pig-shaped piece in the python, and that's going to create value to go the other way, anti-Raz in this case.
So, great question. And if you didn't hear the answer, he started with coming back and buying back. He went back to the Hall of Fame, and then we got the pig and the python.
You know,
That is money.
Will Hill is the king at getting good information on the line moves, and every time one of his plays goes down, and he gives up -2, and it closes 4, and then the team gets blasted. You know what I text him? APB, always play back against the good story.
I want to know if you can take every question and circle it back to the Hall of Fame.
Get one more in before the break. Go ahead.
Right, this guy, I know he's sharp, doesn't want to say his name. I bought 2 NHL futures. Now both teams are facing each other in the playoffs. What is the play? Do I let just one of the teams get eliminated, or do I hedge against the favorite or go against the underdog?
It's funny because it's like how can you hedge? You've got these 2 tickets, and this one's going to advance, and this one's going to lose. So all things being equal, I would just roll with it and root for no injuries and root for somebody to win 4-0. Obviously, that would be the very best. I will say in hockey, and we saw this. I still can't see the ball. I keep watching it. The ball is too small.
In hockey?
I cannot see the
ball.
ball.
If you're looking for a ball, you're not going to find one.
I can't see anything.
And what do you think, and quickly, what do you think about the Hockey Hall of Fame?
I don't. I would put Gordie Howe in. Game 7 unders, though, I think are certainly absolutely money, and we saw that with Boston and with the VGK. Obviously, both games 3 goals. So unders in Game 7s, you'll make money in the NHL.
It's in Toronto, by the way.
Should Wayne Gretzky be in the Poker Hall of Fame? We're coming back with Fezzik, and your question's next. Sharp Money. Dustin, let's keep it going.
All right, I have 2 that are correlated. So one, Rafa writes in, I think Mr. Fezzik's head went in like a 90s pocket calculator that gets asked too big of an equation when you got the email about the crazy blackjack story a week ago. The crazy blackjack story came originally from Butch. Claimed that a local casino made an 11-card 21. 6 2s, ace, 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 and a 5. Wanted to ask what the odds of that happening were. Steve called BS on it. We also have a follow-up from Butch here. So first, Rafa, he basically is demanding a retraction, saying that anything is possible.
Yeah, I'm going to double down. He's completely wrong. So the question that we're discussing, he said, allegedly, that there were 6 deuces out of the deck, then 4 aces, and then a 5. So the exact combination, I'm not going to make the math difficult. Obviously, each card, the chance of a deuce is approximately 1/13. It decreases slightly as the decks become depleted of deuces and aces. But you know what? I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. And by some miracle, I'm going to say there's a 1/10 chance that there's deuce, 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 ace, 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 ace. Each one 1/10. Well, there's a combination here of 6 deuces, 4 aces, and a 5. That exact combination would be 10 billion to 1 if it was a 1 in 10 chance. So it's actually more like a 1 in 100 billion. As they say in casino, that cannot happen. You cannot hit 3 jackpots in 15 minutes. Either you're in on it and you're cheating from the casino, or you're incompetent. Either way, dude, you're fired. Don't email into the show anymore.
All right, well, here is Butch emailing again into the show. Hi, guys. Just a follow-up to my question to Fez about the 11-card 21. I didn't make up the story. I actually did not see the hand. A dealer told me about it. It was pre-COVID. I'm not offended being called a liar because, as Fez said, the odds of that happening are less than impossible. Love the show. So he said it was pre-COVID. Is that the new version of you don't know her? She goes to a different school?
It's like the same odds of that same dealer having a threesome with Lisa Ann and Nikki Dial. It did not happen.
You knew Lisa Ann was coming back into the program.
Oh.
Thank you, Butch. We appreciate you. Next question. Go ahead, big guy.
All right, let's go with Justin from California. Question that many new sports bettors probably have encountered. My brother travels to Vegas from LA about 10 to 12 weeks of the NFL season. Recently been asked to swipe a card or fill out his personal information. One book wouldn't even cash his $500 winning ticket unless he did. It was like he won $10,000. The books say they have to record the losses, but what is really happening, Fez? Is a tax form going to be sent to him? Is there a limit where the books decide to ask for info? Do they think he's placing bets for other people? He's been going to Vegas for years. What has changed?
Wow, a whole lot there. So there are rules on the books that if the book suspects that you're making a wager for somebody else, they're supposed to inquire with you, is this bet just for you? And if they have reason to believe that it is not, they certainly can restrict you from betting. If you have a payout of over 300 to 1, it is subject to taxation. If it's below 300 to 1, you're not. If you receive a payment of over $10,000, the casino must fill out a currency transaction report. If you take your wager in chips, they do not. Places have internal rules. Example, I was in a book where I cashed out $5,000. They said, sir, do you have a player's card and ID? I declined it. They said, sir, we're going to need that in order to be paid. I know if I want to be paid, I do not need to provide either. I can just say, do I need to call the Nevada Gaming Commission to get paid? If I do that, I will indeed be paid. I don't need to provide my ID. I could remain anonymous, but the book can then restrict me from ever playing there again. That is their right. So I provided my ID in that circumstance situation. I think that covered all the issues.
That did. It's a great question and a great answer. Both of you nailed it. Okay, big guy, next one.
Note here, Alan Castle just wrote in moments ago. He's going to the front of the line, even though I have a couple others here I want to hit. I do not have a question today, but I would like to offer to pay for Fezzik's 2 old fashions before his appearances. Love the show.
Yes, I think we all agree. A couple of old fashions in, and Fezzik is legendary. Great one. Appreciate it. Next.
All right, Brian writes in. Huge favorite last season. Would have won division if Jacksonville didn't get hurt. Or if Lawrence didn't get hurt, talking about the Jacksonville Jaguars. They added pieces around Trevor Lawrence, Steve. Finally time for him to grow. Same system, better weapons. At plus 240 value, would you bet on the Jaguars to win the South?
I got to still do my research, but frankly, I want to ask you guys, doesn't it feel like when a player goes to Jacksonville, it's just a paycheck city? It's not a football city. It's just like, you know what? I can drive south to the pretty girls down in Miami or north, up to Georgia, and have a good time in Jacksonville, get paid well, not having state income tax. There doesn't seem to be any passion for football players in Jacksonville.
So I've actually attended a couple games in Jacksonville. It has no business having a professional sports franchise. The players, they definitely feel lost. I think you have to get a certain type of player, like someone who grew up in like the country, who thinks Jacksonville's a big city. That would help. And Trevor Lawrence grew up not far away, so that helps with him. But the Jacksonville Jaguars have no buzz. They have no field. They have no real fan base. There's no reason they should still be there.
And
I went to the Super Bowl there. It was a disaster.
Ooh, and think about Trevor Lawrence. So what did he do famously in college? What did he spend his Sundays doing? Hanging out with his girlfriend. Well, I don't know, watching Tiger Woods and golf. I don't know. He said we weren't watching the NFL. Call me like crazy. I want a guy like Bo Nix, right? That shows up and he's like living, breathing. He's got his, what do you pack in your bag? Well, my cleats and my workout tape, right? That's my kind of guy. I want a gym rat that's studying the game, not a guy that's like hanging out with his girlfriend on Sunday during college and instead of watching football. That's un-American.
What if his girlfriend was Lisa Ann?
Oh. Justified?
Let me get back to you on that.
It's with the Houston Texans plus 110, the Jags 240, the Colts 340 in the South, and the Titans 10-1. Next, big guy.
All right, last one here from Kevin. Hey Steve, what's the best way to learn how to win, be a winning sports bettor? I've watched you on Sharp Money a lot. I've played around with betting baseball and football, but was never really a winner. You stated on this show that you can make anyone a winning sports bettor. Help, please.
At Fezzik Sports Twitter, DM me. I'm looking for a few good men.
Ooh, what was the name of the emailer?
Kevin wrote in, and he just wanted to know what's the best way to be a winning sports bettor.
Text him. Here's what I can tell you. DM Steve. He will get back to you. He will help you.
Text him my phone number. Text Kevin my phone number. Yeah.
Okay. Did we unload the emails?
We did. They're empty.
Hey, Fez, speaking of the Sports Betting Hall of Fame, can you think of any administrators? Now, you don't love the administration getting in, but can you think of any administrators that deserve to be in?
Sure. I mean, there are several, absolutely. You know, I'll use an example of a guy that I had a little bit of a truculent relationship with, but absolutely deserving. Chris Andrews, sportsbook director. He's done a fine job. I think Chris could make a living betting sports. If you read his books, he talks about items that he's excelled at. You know, it's kind of neat. I know nothing about horse racing, and he's won numerous contests, horse racing contests, famously. He has a very fine book, Then One Day. I recommend it strongly, Then One Day, to go ahead and purchase. He has a second book as well. I recommend strongly, Then One Day, a very fine book. You should get that book. So Chris Andrews.
Forgiveness sets you free, Steve. May I ask you a question about you and Mr. Andrews, who runs the South Point? He's a great guy.
Sure.
Can you ever see the relationship being mended between you and Mr. Andrews?
I'll never say never, but, you know, I go back to, you saw Fast Times at Ridgemont High, right? Where, what it is, Judd Reinhold is the star?
Yes.
So he's talking to his girlfriend, and he's being kind of a little bit of a jerk, and his girlfriend says, you know, if you apologize to Dennis Taylor, he'd probably let you, get back at All American Burger, to which he responds, I'm not apologizing to Dennis Taylor. That guy's a jerk.
So the answer is yes. Eventually, you two could mend fences.
And eventually, perhaps I could work at All American Burger. Yes. Thanks a lot, Arnold. I hope you had a nice leak in the bathroom.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Fez, there's a minute left. The time is yours. Anything just off the top of mind you'd like to say on the way out here?
You know, I said this quite often, and like we come on and we talk about winning, and winning is not easy, but winning is, what's important is to do the homework. So if you want to win gambling, you can win playing advantage slot machines. You can win playing blackjack. You can win certainly playing poker. It's just a matter of doing the work. But the number one thing I would say is have a mentor, have someone to run things by. And there are so many sports bettors that think they're good, and like if they run their bets by me, and I'm like, I bet Boston, the Celtics minus 11.5, and literally I'm like, what are you doing? You got to lay 10.5 at most 11. You can't win laying Boston minus 11.5. Now they're going to win 30, and I'll look stupid.
You're a gem. You're the best. Steve Fezzik, pregame.com, at Fezzik Sports. Make sure to give him a follow. We'll see you next Monday, Fez.